All right, all right. So I absolutely love my Zondervan Study Bible because I can never just plow through a chapter of scripture and, and and be done. Right now, I'm stuck on these first three. I'm on Jeremiah 17, 1 through 3, and that's a whole story in itself. And it's amazing what the wisdom of the secular world can even do. It makes me think of the song "No New Friends." Now, I'm not asking you to listen to the song. I'm not endorsing those lyrics. I'm just saying this story reminds me of No New Friends, the concept of No New Friends. So when I'm reading it, I'm reading Jeremiah 1. It says, Judah's sin is engraved with an iron tool and inscribed with a flint point on the tables of their hearts and on the horns of their altars. So there's some sin going on here. And now it says, even their children remember their altars and Asherah's poles. So I'm thinking, all right, I'm curious as to what Asherah's poles are. Beside the spreading of trees on high hills, my mountain in the land and your wealth and all your treasures I will give away as plunder. Okay, so there's the punishment. So I'm like, what happens? I was doing good, doing bad, well, doing bad, doing good. People remember doing bad, and now we lost everything. So what happened? So in the study Bible, in Jeremiah 7:2, it tells me to go to Second Chronicles 24 and 18 to figure out what the children remember. So if you follow me to Jeremiah, I'm sorry, Second Chronicles 24 and 18, I have it queued up for you, but I'm gonna look at my Zondervan Study Bible, and I'll get there in just a second. And so it says on 18, it says, they abandoned the temple of the Lord, the God of their ancestors, and worshiped Asherah's poles and idols. So, second commandment says, you shall have no other. You shall have no other God. I'm sorry, that's the third one. You shall have no other gods. But the second one is, you shall not make an image in the likeness of anything. So Asherah's poles and idols are an image. So that's breaking the second commandment. So how did they get there? So I'm gonna scroll up to 17. Now, 17, it says, after the death of Jehoiada, the officials of Judah came to pay homage to the king, and then he listened to them. So, what's going on here? Apparently, this Jehoiada guy is pretty important. And now, these people that paid homage to the king may be taking over his what's in his ear. So, these are new friends, but let's look at what happened. So in 15 it says Jehoiada was old and full of years, and he died at the age of 130, and he was buried with the kings in the city of David because of the good he had done in Israel for God in his temple. So Jehoiada wasn't a king, but who was he? So now this made me stop. I can't stop there, and I have to scroll back up to 1 and see. And that says, it says Joash repairs the temple. But wait a minute, I saw something that contradicted that. 17, right before 17, it says the wicked of Joash. So what happened? What changed? So I'm going to go up and I'm going to see what changed. Here's what changed. All right. When at 7 years old, Joash became king. All right. So it says that Jehoiada chose wives for him. So it turns out that Jehoiada was a priest and a mentor to King Joash. So we go from Second Chronicles 24:1, and we go all the way down. And King Joash, with the mentorship of the name is Jehoiada. So priest Jehoiada has him doing all these things that are great in God's eyes, right? And then he dies. So now he loses his mentor. And now he has new friends that are in his ear. And his new friends are seem to be playing both sides, because they're telling him something, they're telling him to worship these poles, but then they're also secretly harboring some hate as we go along. As I go to Second Chronicles 24 and 20, when Zechariah is the son of Jehoiada. So he's the new priest. So he stood before the people and said, this is what God says. So whenever a priest says, this is what God says, you need to listen. And God said, why do you disobey the Lord's commands? You will not prosper. So he's rebuking them for these idols. So now the new friends didn't like it and helped the king plot against Zechariah, and got King Joash to stone the priest Zechariah to death in the middle of the courtyard of the Lord's temple. How disrespectful is that? King Joash, so he forgot the kindness that Jehoiada showed him. So now what happened was, later on down, the Armenian army came, and I'm on 24 and 24, with only a few men, but the Lord delivered them into their hands, despite being a much larger army. So when the Armenians withdrew, they left Joash severely wounded. All right, and then so he's severely wounded. Now these new friends They conspired against him for killing Jehoiada's the priest. I'm sorry, for killing the son. So now again, this is where I said that they're playing both sides. So they got them to kill him because they were rebuked for the idols, but now they're going to kill him for actually killing Zechariah for actually listening to them. So it's unclear right now for me what exactly was their intent. So that's going to lead me to the next thing. I'm going to read a little bit further, and we're going to lead to some more of what's going on with these men's intentions. But right now, the key to this is be careful with your new friends. And I'm going to go back to where we started, and I'm going to even their children remember the altars. So they lost everything because of the new friends.